The world is just so beautiful. You just gotta take time and let it build up inside of you. What everything means to you. You got to make sure that everything builds up, because in the end, we are all just people. Okay? And the world is what defines us, but the seat of the soul is what nobody knows. Don't ever let anybody convince you otherwise. Everybody else's beliefs and their own growth is their own growth. And the old belief is that everybody is like a plant. Everybody grows, Everybody has to believe and find different perspectives in life, Life is a multitude of perspective. Life keeps growing like a garden rather than a single plant, because if it's a single plant and everybody has the same belief, what is the point of living, and what is the point of individuality, my friends? Is like, instead of being a single plant and everybody being the same plant, it is an endless botanical garden of flowers and other life forms that spawn fruit of nature, and the serpent is usually in the center, because the serpent is Gnosis. It means the highest. To know the highest self is what the serpent is. But we're all beautiful. People think it looks evil, but what does it really mean? People need to figure out what it really means instead of what it looks like, because everybody thinks the serpent is evil, but we all know life is good. But what the serpent represents, knowing what God doesn't want you to know. But what is wrong with, there's, it's suppression, really. When he doesn't want you to know anything or certain things, it's kind of like an act of oppression, an act of suppression. Well, we are all the same human race, and the only words of God we can ever come up with are in books. But have you ever seen a human being in a book? That is something to think and wonder about. It's always different, because life is like an endless sprawling events of things. And those things, in the end, capitalize us, let us grow into the unique individuals we have become. Because in the end, life is nothing but love. We only have love for ourselves and not our neighbors. Because your neighbor might be doing something bad in your perspective. Or you might be doing something bad in the neighbor's perspective. You can't always be nice to your neighbors. But everything is questionable in the end. And once we question more, the more we find our infinite self, or a different. When we think of the higher self, it feeds the ego, but our higher knowledge that doesn't have a physical form, that is not ego, because if we find something in ourselves that's not our physical body, then there's nothing the ego can gain from it. And then we start gaining for ourselves in this life.